Good morning. Welcome to Tom Speed's Network Marketing Gym for Success. Good morning, home business owners, small business entrepreneurs, network marketers. Welcome. Do you find yourself struggling trying to build your home business, leveraging social media? You're not quite getting the results that you're looking for. Well, yesterday we talked about the 3 methods of prospecting. We talked about the vomit method, which really isn't that effective. It will get you some results, but not the best of results. And we talked about active prospecting. Then we also talked about passive prospecting. Today I want to dive a little bit deeper on the active prospecting and show you how you can actually start to get a little better results, so you can start to increase those numbers and start to get the quality signups in your network marketing business to help you, after all, achieve that success for what you're looking for. You see, network marketing is like no other, is the same as any other industry, any other profession out there. There's a certain set of skills that you need to attain to become successful. And that's what I do here at the Network Marketing Gym for Success. I help you take those network marketing skills and we transform those network marketing skills into network marketing muscles so that you can succeed, so that you can achieve that time freedom and the financial freedom that comes along with it. But that happens because you're showing up here at the gym, showing up, implementing some of these simple to apply strategies that'll have you, connecting with more people, have you making more sales in your network marketing business, have you creating more new signups of quality people who are looking for exactly what you have on social media. Think about how that can work, total paradigm shift. But in today's exercise, we want to talk about, how to actively go out there and prospect on social media. What's the best way to do it? See, you need to be doing, if you don't have a great passive prospecting system in place that's already getting you results, okay, you're leveraging social media. You can be building your, passive prospecting, but while you're building it, you need to be expanding your business. And the only way to do that, good morning, Helen, thanks for jumping on. The only way to expand your business is by actively prospecting. And you've decided to jump online because you weren't getting the results offline. And I understand it. It's one of the most efficient ways to build your business, leveraging social media. But that's what we want to talk about today. Actually, leveraging social media, but actually going out there and actively prospecting people for your network marketing business. How do we go about doing this? Well, the best way to go about doing this is by becoming precise. You see, the key is a lot of people will go out there and their idea of prospecting on social media is sending messages with links, posting sales pages, all that types of stuff, basically the vomit method. And we know that doesn't really work. You'll get some, but you won't get many. Okay, the best way for active prospecting is to be, laser guided and targeted. See, the key is we all have a broad-based market that our product, service, or opportunity will be used by, not the ones who could use it, because that's everybody, like your upline says, and that we all know that that's not the fact. But the people who could use it, within that broad base, it's comprised of multiple sub-niches. See, this is the critical aspect most people miss when they're going out there prospecting actively on social media. What you want to do is you want to pick one specific niche that you're going to work with, okay? Like they say, the riches are in the niches, right? Niches, whatever you want to say. But you pick one that you want to work with. And then we're going to do the same thing. We need to do market research. We've got to understand the people in these niche markets. We've got to understand the pains, the problems that they're enduring, the things that they go through, what's life throwing at them, what are their day-to-day things they've got to do. What are some of their desires? The more we understand about this particular niche, the better educated we are. So when we do connect with the person actively prospecting, we have something to talk about. We have something that we can bring up. Here's the best part. If we have information like this, now that we're going after a specific target, now what happens is we've got great intel in our mind. So when we create that engagement, we have those messenger conversations, we have things to talk about. One of the things I like to be is, when we're specific. See, the thing is, when you're specific with who you're going to be prospecting. Now, we all have multiple niches, right? The best way is to get proficient with one niche at a time, okay? Eventually, you'll be able to use multiple niches, but right now, with one particular niche at a time. What is that niche? Is it working moms? Okay, it's working moms who are raising a family and maintaining a home and warehousing your children at daycare. That's one niche. But the key is find another niche. There's other niches too. Once you identify that niche, you got realtors. realtors, doctors, whatever it is. Pick that niche. So now you find out the common pains and the problems and all this stuff. So now what happens is you be specific. What I used to like to do when I was doing actively prospecting was I would go out there and I would have a campaign. This week we're going to be talking to, realtors. Okay, great. We're going to be reaching out to realtors. So we're going to find on social media where the realtors associate. Where do they hang out? Where do you see most of their engagements, most of their interactions? What pages and stuff like that? Where are some of the forums that they're at? This is the crucial part. See, you want to find people who are active, people who are actively engaging, people who are commenting on posts, people who are in some of the groups, asking questions, that are responding, that commenting. These are the people you want to target, the people who are active. It doesn't make much sense to target someone who hasn't posted anything in 2 months. See, we all have that ability to check out their personal profiles and make sure they're active, make sure they're the realtor, make sure they're a person you want to actually work with. See, we got to be selective. And then what happens is this is where we'll comment on some of the posts and do a little bit of engagement just to start to build that little rapport, just to bring your head to the surface, just to bring some market awareness to you. In other words, make them aware of you. And then we simply offer them, find out, hey, listen, would you be open to getting on a messenger conversation? Find out, or you can just send them a messenger. The key is you want to try to get in touch with them on a messenger. You don't want to do this on a comment or a post or something like that. That's an awkward place. You want to get them to messengers. See, a lot of times you can send a message, hey, I'd love to talk to you. I saw what you posted about this. I'd love your response on that comment, or I'd love the thing I saw on your post, on your page or whatever. Give them some compliments and let them know why, one of the main reasons why you're initially engaging with them. And then what we want to do is we want to reach out to them and get them. When we get them on a messenger conversation, we'll go back and forth. Hey, listen, I really liked what you said about that comment about such and such, or I really like your standpoint on that, or I see you're pretty active with this, and start to build them up. I noticed some of the great content on your page, some of the stuff value, or comment on something you can see. Let them know sincere that you've actually looked, you learned a little bit about them, not that you're just spamming them with a link or whatever. Now, see, that's the other thing. No unsolicited links. No unsolicited links. I don't know how many times I can say that, but no unsolicited links. Okay, that's spam, and we don't want to do that. You don't want to be known as a spammer. We want to create that engagement. We get that engagement going. Now, by understanding who this particular niche is that we're working with, so we're working with realtors this week. One of the key things I've found as I've been learning and this stuff like this is people are controversial. People love controversy, and the key is, what I found is, like, if I'm working with a specific group of people, I like to take and build up their job, build up their background, whatever it is, build up their career. In other words, realtor. Oh, wow, realtor, that's an awesome career, especially with the prices of homes these days. You guys can really turn out some really crazy commissions, can't you? I mean, that's got to be fantastic. Making a couple of those sales, that can do very well for you, And this is where, when you're building their business up, most of them will actually come back to you and say, yeah, it looks good, but we got to go out there and we got to do a lot of cold calls. I've got to drive people around on weekends who can't afford a house, yet I've got to be nice to them, drive them all over the place, wasting my time when I could be with my family, and I'm driving these strangers around in my car who can't even afford this house, and yet I've got to entertain them on a weekend. All these types of things. When you can build up what they're doing, this is usually when they'll reiterate with what the downsides are. And this is where it gives you a chance to step in and say, hey, listen, you know what? I understand what you're up against, but that's one of the main reasons I reached out to you was, I see you're in the Bay Area, and I'm looking to expand my business in the Bay Area, and I work with a lot of realtors that seem to be pretty successful at it, are a great fit because it doesn't interfere with what they're currently doing, and it'll actually help them achieve an additional income where, some of them actually get out of that rat race of having to do all those cold calls and stuff like that. This is crucial. See, now what's happening is you've got to identify the elephant in the room. You got to do that quite quickly. Nothing says, you've got to friend them yet or anything. You just simply letting them know why you're connecting with them. But let them know that you're sincere, that you see they're an active realtor, you see they're a positive person, you see they look like you might be a great fit. I'm just curious if you'd be open into taking a look. If not, that's okay. Give them the out. Find out if they're open, then give them the out. See, this becomes more low key. In other words, there's no pressure on them. They don't feel like you're pressuring them, like they have to give you that answer. Hey, if no problem, that's it. Then if you want to engage with them at a future point, then you can engage with them and keep them in the loop. If it's someone you truly feel has value to you that will eventually maybe become around, find out if they'd be a friend and put them in one of your friends' funnels so that you can drip on them from time to time with valuable content. Just think about it. You could drip on them with some content where you're interviewing a couple of other realtors, or you have a little testimony of some other realtors who are having success in your business. Where you just have a short 2-3 minute or 2 video that all of a sudden pops up on their Facebook. And they don't realize it, but they're on a funnel list of yours, and that's why they're seeing it. And it jogs their memory a little bit, lets them know. So it's basically a way to follow up with them, even though they weren't ready to get in, they weren't interested, it gives them something else to think about. And this is where you keep in touch with them, and then you keep following up with them in that same manner, and stay commenting on their posts and things like that. But only if it seems like someone that you really need to connect with, that's going to be of value to. See, you don't want to just friend anybody, if they're not going to be of value to you as you build your business. We've got 5,000 friends, and we've got to use those friends wisely. And we want to make them of people who are engaging with our content and stuff like this, but people who are receptive to our message as well. So this is powerful. You don't need to engage with everybody as a friend, but you need to engage with them with intention. In other words, and the key is you've got to be defined. You've got to understand. You've got to understand the market that they're in. You've got to understand, what they're currently, what are their pains and problems. So when you can talk to them, how is that? So you got to drive people around, strangers, and you can't qualify them. No, they got to drive them around whether they can afford the house or not. I got to make 25 cold calls a day. Wow, that's got to be tough. I couldn't imagine what that's like. You know what I'm saying? When you're building it up and then they turn around and tell you the downsides, it opens the door. But see, the key is if you didn't understand how to talk to them, you would probably never get them to this point. They would chalk you right off. But the key is you want to, have something targeted. Be sincere about a compliment, something you saw on their profile that made you want to reach out. What is it, And the key is let them know, hey, I'm looking to expand in that area. If not, that's okay, quick turnaround. You don't want it just dragging on for 6 months and then you reach out to them and say, hey, are you open? So you've been stringing me along for 6 months only to pop this question now? No, I'm not interested. Now you can forget about it. But the key is start doing it wisely. Go out there and build with intention. Okay, and the key is once you develop this skill, it won't be an effort at all. I can assure you that. Right now it seems a little awkward for you to go out and do this, but the key is once you discover the skill, and the key here, one of the key reasons why it becomes easier doing it this method is because you're understanding your prospect. You're understanding the people in that niche market. You've got an understanding of them. You understand who they are, what they're going through, some of their problems and pains. And you realize that you have a method to help them. And that's what you're coming across with. You're not coming across with a business opportunity where they can generate an income. You're coming across with a possible solution to a problem or a pain or a desire that they have. Totally different shift of how to go about doing this. What happens is it makes it much easier for you to ask those questions, and it makes it much easier for them to look for the answers because you're providing solution. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's simple. Hopefully you got a little bit of value out of this. Hopefully you understand the simplicity of active prospecting, but with intention and knowing specifically what niche in the market you're prospecting and work with that particular niche. Now we do this in such a method till you get comfortable. And once we get comfortable, now we expand to other niches. This is how we develop that skill into a muscle. Okay, we've got to develop that skill first. Once we get that skill, to where it's working, now we can exercise that muscle and use it on a regular basis for all the niches within your market. This is when you're going to start to get that success because you'll be active. Think about it. You could prospect 5 times to realtors, 5 times to this, 5 times to that. It doesn't take much when you think about it. It doesn't take much at all, but it takes the intention and it takes the focus and the action and it takes the skill. Once you have the skill, the rest will fall into place as long as you've got a strong enough vision. Hopefully you got a little bit of value out of today's exercise. If you know people who are struggling in their network marketing business, perhaps people in your downline, maybe get this video to them. Let them know that there's a way, a proper way to go out there, rather than just spamming links and sales pages and stuff like that, where you get a little results but not the best, but to where you can actually get the best results, finding the quality people to talk to. Don't just engage with anybody, but go for the quality people. But that all starts with you taking action. You've got to take action with today's exercise. See, today's exercise, no matter how valuable it was, the knowledge, it has no value whatsoever. Only when it's implemented has you taking action and moving forward. See, unapplied knowledge has virtually no value whatsoever. It's basically hearsay and conjecture, in theory. Okay, only applied knowledge is actually going to get you the results. Taking action. The action takers, they're the success makers. I know who they are. I see them in my inbox. I see them on the company stages. I see them on their way to the top. But they're out there taking action, taking these exercises and put them to work for you. Go out there and start your active prospecting campaign today. Pick a niche that you want to work with. Do some market research. Find out the common problems and pains that they endure on a daily basis. What are some of the desires they have? And just simply start to reach out to them, offer them a solution, let them know you're expanding in their area. You became a point person of interest because of what the engagement you saw with them on certain posts and stuff like that. See, you got to call them out on it. Let them know why you reached out to them, not just blatantly, you're just poking holes in the dark. That's it. You've got to have intention why you're doing this. See, we got to remember, their first exposure to a network marketing opportunity is your connection with them. And if you do it the wrong way, they're not going to want to do what you do. Simple, right? Hopefully you got a little bit of value of this. My automatic light off. There we go. Knocked down the place. But morning, Helen. Thanks for getting on. Hopefully you got a little value out of this. Hopefully you're having a good weekend. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow at the gym as well. Yeah, take care, Helen. I see you're active. I see you're doing your videos already. That's awesome. Take care. Have a great day. Have a nice weekend. Say hi to Joe, Helen.